striker!
Somebody once said, in the world of soccer, you can train first-rate goalkeepers, defenders, as well as midfielders. But strikers are a different breed entirely. How can you tell one's a first-rate athlete? That's easy. They will look for where the soccer is its most intense. Then out of nowhere, that's where you'll find them.
Yo, what's good? Senpai back again for episode 2 of Blue Lock. Last episode already hit hard, straight up Hunger Games but with soccer cleats. We met Ego, who basically said, teamwork is a scam, and tossed these boys into the most savage training system I've ever seen. Isagi had that tough moment where he passed the ball and then instantly regretted it, and now he's learning that to survive here, you've gotta be selfish and score. This episode's where the competition really starts, and I can't wait to see how these guys handle the pressure. Let's dive in.
I'll be blunt with you, gentlemen. If things carry on like this, we can give up all hope. Japan won't win the World Cup, not in a million years.
Remind me again why we should care. I mean, we're raking in plenty of dough as it is. Soccer's a business, Henri. And let's be honest here. Do you really think Japan has a chance of winning?
Of course I do, you money-grubbing rodent. In case you haven't noticed, it's my goddamn dream! Do you think by playing our way we can win? That our possession style's effective enough for the world stage? The reason we've never made it past the last 16 is because we continue telling ourselves these lies!
Well, this crazy idea is your brainchild. You laid out all the groundwork and put the whole thing into motion. So if it doesn't work, I can tell you right now whose head is going to roll.
I believe in this program. If we want to win a World Cup, there's only one person capable of breaking down these players and forging one who can lead us to victory. And it's this man right here! Jinpachi Ego.
Isagi, hey, what are you doing? Wait, what happened? I'm bleeding. Sorry, whole thing's a blur. The ball came at me out of nowhere. Don't give me that!
Well done, my diamonds in the rough. Only results matter here. You lost, Ryosuke Kira, and are disqualified. Now lock off, loser.
This is bullshit. My career's over. Lying in tatters? This early on? And it's only because I lost in some childish game? I'm the jewel in the crown of Japanese soccer! No way you think Igakuri and Isaki are more talented than me, right? All this proves is that they're better at tag! What does any of this have to do with soccer?
Every aspect of your lives here in Blue Lock will have something to do with the sport. So look around you, Mr. Mediocre Elite. Notice the room size. It's the same dimensions as a penalty area. And roughly 75% of goals are born within these confines. If you can't do your job inside this space, you have no talent as a striker.
Shut up! It's frickin' tag! The two literally have nothing in common!
If you're the one who's running away, you need a keen sense of interpersonal space, tactics, and positioning. And if you're the one doing the chasing, your dribbling and aim must be precise, and the quality of your kicks must be high.
The white-haired guy, that bastard, tricked me. Isagi couldn't believe what had just happened, even he was taken aback by his own actions. However, the result of this match was far more than just a game. It was a defining moment, one that would ultimately decide the future of their careers. In order for Isagi to have a successful future, the white-haired guy had no choice but to accept the inevitable. His life had reached a dead end. Yet, he remained stubborn, unwilling to admit that this absurd game of chase had any relevance to football. It wasn't until he was forced to listen to an analysis from the head guy that he finally ran out of excuses. The dimensions of the room were comparable to the penalty box on the field. This area accounted for 75% of the goals scored in the game. The player hiding must be sharp, tactical, and able to position themselves strategically, while the one chasing must possess exceptional dribbling skills, precision, and the ability to shoot accurately while in motion. These were all essential skills for a forward player. The white-haired guy, however, still stubbornly argued that this wasn't football. The head guy quickly shut him down with his response. He explained that, on average, a player could only hold onto the ball for 136 seconds during an entire 90-minute match. This seemed like a lot of time, but the reality of the situation was much harsher. And then came the bombshell. Even a single second could be enough to capitalize on a situation, especially when facing an opponent who was unable to move. While this might sound arrogant or even a little overconfident, the truth in football is that as long as
Making it an excellent soccer training drill, you wimp.
Just a training drill? You can't possibly know anything about me in only 2 minutes! Not when a soccer match is 90!
Care to guess the average amount of time a player spends with the ball in a 90-minute game? 136 seconds. I provided that, and you decided to wait until the clock ran out.
I had 10 seconds! It's not as if I could do anything!
Would you use that same excuse if this was a match? When the ball made contact with you, there was still 1 second left on the clock. You could have survived if you kicked it at Igaguri, but you didn't see the move. In a way, it was the last play before the whistle. Curious how the very moment your teammate's shot collided with you. It's as if you gave up and accepted defeat. That's why you didn't see an alternative. You could have achieved victory if you just stretched out your leg. Whoever's it in this game of tag, he might wind up the loser if he holds onto the ball for too long. Or perhaps the winner, considering he has the power to choose whoever's hit next. As a striker, you are to shoulder that responsibility, fighting until the very last second runs out. Yoichi Isaki chose a target, a player who was ranked higher than him instead of Igaguri. Before that, Megadu Bachira stole the ball off him and went after the strongest guy. Both demonstrated a selfish obsession with victory, unaffected by the group or common sense. It's pure ego. Just what I'm looking for in a striker. You lost because you ran away from it. Ryosuke Kira, lock off.
No, Bachira, you saw him from out of nowhere. He singled me out. This isn't fair. Bachira came out of nowhere! Kira. You know it wasn't right, ending my dreams like this! Why'd I kick it? I think I really put an end to Kira's soccer career. Then why? Why do I feel so excited right now? He knows. Why'd you pass the ball to me? You would have lost if I just hadn't kicked the ball.
I saw the look on your face. I knew you'd kick it.
Huh?
Like he said, only results matter here. So I believed in you, and we won, right?
This guy is totally crazy. This whole thing's ridiculous. How long is this supposed to last?
Ridiculous, you say? You have a point. That's the world of win or lose. Remember those world-class strikers who everyone here so casually admires? They put their lives on the line like this every single day.
you're alive, you can always make a comeback. Up until the final minute, the game is still anyone's to win or lose. It was the players who, instead of being distracted by the collective mindset of the team, focused solely on their own desire to win, like Isagi and Bashira, that the head guy was looking for. The white-haired guy lost it, completely enraged by the outcome. Seeing him like that, Isagi felt a sense of guilt wash over him. He couldn't shake the feeling that it was his fault that Japan's brightest prospect would no longer be able to shine. However, at the same time, Isagi also felt a strange sense of excitement. Bashira, who had always been a bit unpredictable, passed him the ball in the final moments of the game. If Isagi hadn't accepted it, Bashira would have likely been eliminated right there. But Bashira remained calm and unbothered by the stakes. He trusted Isagi, believing that if he passed the ball to him, it would lead to victory for both of them. Bashira had faith in Isagi, and it turned out to be the right decision. For the first time in his life, Isagi felt like he was fighting for something greater. This feeling of fighting for victory, of pushing forward in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, was both intimidating and exhilarating. But this was exactly what they would have to deal with when they entered Blue Lock. They would face these trials until they became warriors with the unrelenting desire to win etched into their very bones. It wasn't just about scoring goals, it was about surviving, pushing forward with a relentless drive, and finding a way to succeed in a system that would test their limits. The other 11 players.
How does it feel, fighting for the first time to protect your soccer career? Does it scare you? Are you excited? This is normal in Blue Lock. Are you shaken up? Ablaze with the knowledge that you survived? That's what victory feels like. It's the sensation in your brain. Every time you get a taste of that sweet rush, your ego also slightly increases, which will help elevate you to the height of world's greatest striker. Congratulations. Those who survived have passed the Blue Lock entrance exam. Yes! Look around at everyone in this room. For now, you 11 will be living together. Sometimes you'll work as a team, and other times you'll be rivals, out to wreck each other's dreams. You're Blue Lock, Team Z. You don't think you can become the world's greatest striker going that slow? You're mortals like you should run home before I make you cry! It was great!
Don't mind him, Ziggy. Thirsty? Want some water?
Thanks, Quan. Sure.
Ready? Go!
Even the down-to-earth guy's super athletic.
What's wrong? You feeling tired?
Well, you know. That was actually my max. Talk about crushing my spirit. So at the cafeteria, you get rice and miso soup, but your side dish changes depending on your rank.
Otto, must be nice. All I've been getting is pickled radish.
At least we get food.
I'm jealous of the higher ranked guys here. I mean, look.
Seriously? Man, that looks tasty. Ugh.
Is he a caveman?
Thanks for the dumpling, dude!
Listen, Pipsqueak, give that back.
Too late, man, oh man! So good!
You're not getting away.
Quick, hide your food!
Nah, trust me, no one wants ours. I don't have time for sleep! If I don't train, I'm gonna get locked off for sure. How can I beat anyone here when they're all better than me?
You're up late. You training?
Passed the entrance test, meaning they would now have to live together, side by side, as both teammates and rivals. Each player would be forced to compete against the others, attempting to crush the dreams and aspirations of their fellow participants. The more Isagi trained, the more he realized just how incredibly strong his opponents were. Running at 20 kilometers per hour, he was already out of breath and struggling to keep up. Meanwhile, his older brother, Jiakai, constantly teased him, calling him weak and slow. Goon, another teammate, told him not to feel pressured, but it was hard not to when he was required to jump 68 centimeters in a test. How could anyone not feel the pressure in such circumstances? To make things worse, the food they were given was also ranked according to their performance, meaning that Isagi, who was near the bottom of the rankings, was only allowed to eat natto, fermented soybeans, while his older brother, who ranked even lower, was stuck eating salted radishes. Meanwhile, the others were enjoying delicious meals. Watching them eat with envy, Isagi and his older brother could only swallow their saliva. On the bright side, the salted radishes meant no one would bother stealing food from his brother, so at least that was a small consolation. Late at night, when everyone else had fallen asleep after a grueling day of training, Isagi found it impossible to rest. His mind was racing, thinking about the challenges they faced and how difficult the road ahead would be. Luckily, Bashira, who shared his determination and goals, invited Isagi to practice. As they trained together, Isagi took the opportunity to ask Bashira why he had passed him.
Yeah, you know.
Sounds like fun. May I join you?
Listen, I'm confused.
Huh?
When we played tag, you decided to pass the ball to me.
Yep.
Why did you do that? How'd you know I'd aim for Kira?
I guess it's because there's a monster in me. He's so slow. No way. The monster wouldn't like that. You can't beat the monster that way.
Hey! What's your deal? I was wide open up with the ball hogging!
A monster? I'm not following.
Whenever I play soccer, it comes out and talks to me, telling me to score a goal or weave about more. But this time was different. The monster said to me, "Pass it to Isagi." There's a monster inside him, too.
Are you for real?
When I'm on the pitch, I listen to its voice. That's all there is to it. Can't you hear it? The monster's voice?
What the heck is he talking about? Still, when I kicked the ball, I didn't recognize myself. I want to know what this monster actually is. If I find out, maybe it'll give me a clue how to survive Blue Lock.
Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Noel Noah? All of the most amazing players have monsters inside them. It must be what proves you're really a striker. Well, that's what I believe. You know what? I'm glad I came here, Isagi, because I got to meet you. How about we try again?
Sure. What's wrong with this guy? He's talking nonsense. And yet,
Come on.
he's stoking the flames. And giving me courage.
That's more like it. That's exactly how your eyes looked when we were playing tag.
I'm going to survive this.
The ball in the final moments of their game. It was a decision that could have easily resulted in failure, but Bashira had trusted him. People say that those who walk the path of evil are always followed by demons, but the demon within Bashira was different. It wasn't the demon of destruction or despair, it was the demon of victory. In a match that seemed to be slipping away, Bashira's inner demon had emerged, urging him to press forward and take risks in the name of victory. "Stop crying," the demon said to Bashira. "No more tears. Go out there and fight. Dance under the rhythm of victory." In that moment, the demon told Bashira to pass the ball to Isagi, and so he did. Isagi didn't fully understand what was going on, but when he kicked the ball into the goal, he realized that the player he was now wasn't the same as the player he used to be. Understanding the monster inside himself, the one that drove him to win at all costs, was the key to surviving Blue Lock. Bashira and the lonely demon both felt incredibly lucky to have met Isagi. He was the one who gave them the courage and strength to fight on. As Isagi's eyes burned with a newfound intensity, it was clear that something had changed. He was no longer just a player, he was becoming something more. His resolve to succeed had hardened, and his understanding of the game had deepened. The results of the physical tests came in, and as expected, Isagi had ranked higher than his older brother. But before he could get too excited, he knew that Headman would be waiting to throw yet another challenge his way. The facility had 25 teams, ranked from B to Z. Every 5 teams lived together, and Isagi.
The results of the fitness tests have been assessed. All players, please return to your rooms and confirm your latest rankings.
Come on, Gagamaru! Hey, Isagi! Take a look at this, baby! I shot up from my old rank of 300 all the way to 275 now!
What? Impressive.
You're moving up too? Check it! Looks like you're still 1 rank above me. Guess we're rivals, huh?
Well, well. Hello there, my precious diamonds in the rough. Enjoying life at Blue Lock? I certainly hope so.
Cut the crap, man! You put us in this crummy environment. How do you expect us to improve at this rate?
What he said. I demand to have better food, dude.
Your environment is crummy because it matches you idiots' crummy soccer skills.
What?
Let's talk a little bit more about Blue Lock. Within this facility, there are a total of 25 teams from B to Z, split into 5 groups within 5 buildings. By the way, each team lost 1 person after that game of tag. Therefore, there are 275 players left.
Wait, so that means I'm still dead last? I got hyped for nothing!
Your rank decides your team. Ranks 1 through 11 are Team B. Ranks 12 through 22 are Team C. Basically, since you're Team Z, you're the lowest ranked players in Building 5.
We're the worst? All of us? Don't go lumping me in with these losers.
What are you calling losers?
Let's not get worked up now, everyone.
The higher ranked players will receive gourmet food and get to train in better facilities. While you're here, the top soccer player is king. If you want the perks, then you have to win. Now that you know the rules, it's time for us to begin the first selection.
Sai Itoshi, thank you for meeting with me. Now, you were a genius midfielder in the Academy of Royale, one of the world's top clubs. But regulations prevented you from playing in the first team, so you returned to Japan. Since that's the case, do you think there's a chance we'll get to see you in action playing in the domestic league now?
Over my dead body. I'd rather play with German college kids than be associated with professional soccer in this country.
So, you don't have any interest in representing Japan? Not even at the international level?
Absolutely no interest. Japan's national team is a joke and will only ever be mediocre at best. My dream is to win the Champions League. It's a tragedy, but the fact is I was born in the wrong country. There's not a forward here worthy of my passes.
His team, Team Z, was the weakest. Isagi began to wonder if the others were truly as weak as they seemed. If these players were the weakest, then what did that make him? Those ranked higher were given better food and top-tier training. Isagi now understood that in football, being the best meant getting all the perks and opportunities, while those at the bottom were left to struggle. In this world, if you excelled, you were treated like royalty. But if you failed, you were left to fend for yourself. It was brutal, but it was the reality they had to face. At the same time, there was a genius midfielder named Itoshi who had been rejected from Japan's top team. He publicly criticized the national team, claiming that no one on the team could handle his passes. Itoshi sarcastically said that maybe he should play for Manchester United instead. However, when Itoshi watched the press conference about the Blue Lock project and learned of its intense nature, he began to reconsider. It was clear that Blue Lock was not just a game, it was a new approach to developing players. The first selection match was fast approaching, and the 5 teams in the final area would compete in a round-robin format. Only the top 2 teams would advance to the next stage, but with 11 forwards on each team, how could they possibly work together? It was a logistical nightmare, and Isagi's team, Team Z, was at the bottom of the totem pole. But Isagi wasn't one to back down. He was determined to prove that he could rise above the challenges. At the same time, he knew that if he wanted to survive this brutal competition, he would need to be stronger than ever before. The coach, a mysterious...
Won't you give me a break? What are you thinking, Sai? The media's gonna eat you alive for this.
Like I care what Japan thinks. I only came back here because my passport expired.
I realize that, but all the same.
Honestly, where are we even supposed to begin?
I did hear the JFU was supposed to hold a press conference today.
In conclusion, that is how we plan to train a world-class striker. One who can lead the Japanese team to a World Cup victory. Through this, the revolutionary Blue Lock Project.
Let's say this works and you do manage to produce an elite striker. How can you be so certain Japan will win the World Cup?
Are you claiming ruining the lives of 299 athletes is justified for the sake of one person? Didn't the parents object to this?
Well, you see, as far as the players are concerned, we respect their opinions. In regard to their parents, they did sign consent forms.
Ruining their lives? Why shouldn't we? If Japanese soccer wants to move forward, then we need this crazy project. Mark my words. Don't you all want to see it? That historic moment, the birth of Japanese soccer's hero!
The first selection will involve the 55 of you in Building 5. It's a kind of 5-team round robin. Only the top 2 teams will move on to the second selection. It's a survival match.
So what? The 11 of us here in Group C will be playing together as a proper team, but everyone here is a forward.
Why don't you be the goalie then? You look like one.
Don't ask. I have a hard time telling people no.
I'm most qualified to play center forward.
No, I am.
Yeah, in your dreams.
Last place, you're on defense.
A team made up of 11 forwards? How's that gonna work?
Don't you know? Soccer was originally all about scoring. Over the years, you've been imprinted with stupid notions regarding positioning and tactics on the field. But all of the different roles evolved gradually. Soccer initially started out with everyone acting as a striker. So play the game as it was intended. Dig deep down inside and create soccer from zero.
Create soccer from zero? What does that mean?
The last quarter century, Japanese soccer has climbed in the ranks, even compared to the rest of the world's progress. All we need is one more step, and we'll be on par with the world's top teams. Fans all across the globe can see this happening. That's how much Japan has improved. But if we're planning on taking that step forward, then our current notions of soccer must die. Once, we had a shared dream to simply play in the World Cup, and it served its purpose. But now, it's time to dream bigger for the future of soccer in Japan!
Abandon what you once thought was common sense. Instead, shove new concepts into those small brains of yours. Right now, what we need in order for Japan to become the best in the world isn't 11 players working as a team.
This figure, who seemed to have little regard for traditional strategies, urged the players to forget about old tactics. Just score goals, he said. Forget about positions. You'll build a new foundation for football, starting from scratch. His words were unconventional, but they had a ring of truth to them. Meanwhile, the red-haired lady at the press conference declared that Japan's current football system needed to die in order for the national team to become #1 in the world. Football might be a team sport, but the future of the game would be shaped by individual players willing to break the mold. As the media continued to scream about the brutality of the Blue Lock program, Itoshi made a decision. He would stay to see if anyone could truly become a hero in this country. The group of players, including Isagi, would have to battle it out to prove their worth. In the end, the group decided to play rock, paper, scissors to determine their positions on the field. Isagi won, securing his spot as a forward. The losers, however, would never have the chance to play for the national team again. But there was still hope for the top scorer among the losing teams. If they scored enough goals, they could stay in the competition. If the number of goals was tied, the player with the fewest penalties would survive. This meant that if they knew their team was going to lose, they could focus on scoring goals for themselves to stay in the game. The rules were harsh, but they made it clear that only the strongest would survive. The match that lay ahead was going to test everything they had learned, but it was also their chance to prove themselves. The players of Isagi's team stepped onto the field, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead.
What we need is a solitary hero. Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar. Soccer's evolution is limitless because of stars like these. To stop the best in the world, new defensive systems must be created, and through the birth of these new tactics, a better player will be forged. One person's actions can change a team, a country, even the whole world. That's the power this sport possesses.
I welcome you to a new stage of Japanese soccer. where the main characters are not adults who've forgotten how to dream, but a new generation of players who are still nobodies. Who has the courage to embrace that future, to dream of Japan winning the World Cup?
Are you prepared to fight your way to the top?
Because it's possible. Here, inside of Blue Lock. Thank you all for your time.
This is bullshit! This is how you treat promising young talent? You've just gone crazy!
Sai, we better get a move on. The flight back to Spain.
Cancel it.
What?
I want to see what kind of idiotic forward they'll create. Watch them emerge with my own two eyes.
Hey guys, here's T-Nex.
I'm gonna survive this. Watch me.
Blue Lock, additional time.
Finally done training.
Yeah, I'm beat.
Hold up. Which one of these is our room again?
Try every door. We'll find it eventually.
That's the changing room and bathroom, Bachira.
Not here.
Blue Lock's so huge that it's like we're trapped inside a maze. According to this map, the room should be... this way, Bachira.
Well, what have we here?
That's the bathroom, I told you!
The monster inside is telling me. Must be now.
Then go already, you idiot!
Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment too. I'd love to hear your thoughts and keep improving these reactions for you. See you next time.